Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 27 of What If Naruto Got His Memories Sealed Away. Remember to get this one to 200 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Learned the Clone Secret in the beginning and enjoy that. And stay in tune for something new over on Anime King, and I hope you guys enjoy. And remember guys, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, Naruto, Maki, and Sai went towards the hidden sand as they went to speak to Gaara. Getting there, Naruto asked Gaara how did he manage to control the Tanuki inside of him. As Gaara told Naruto that he hasn't fully mastered it yet, it is just a lot of mental battles going on. As Naruto was sat here that he thought there was a way. He knew that Pain and the others will be coming after him soon, and he has to find a way to get stronger really quick. Back at Konoha, it took some time, but Jiraiya was finally out of the hospital as he was in the new house that Himako bought, and it was really a nice house right up towards the Hokage's monument. A really beautiful place, as Himako couldn't just wait for Naruto to come home as she wanted him to see it. Meanwhile, Sasuke went and freed Suigetsu as he went to take on Orochimaru. Suigetsu waited for a while until he saw Sasuke walked out. Kabuto was there as well, the shocked expression on his face. As Sasuke showed Kabuto what did he do. As Kabuto was shocked, Sasuke absorbed Orochimaru as they headed off without even sparing him a second glance. As they went to get Zabuza's blade, they went towards a hidden wave. As they got the blade and headed off to get Karin and Jugo. Meanwhile, Naruto and his squad ended up at Kirin. Arriving there, they talked to the Mizukage as they want to create an alliance between them and Konoha so they can fight against the Akatsuki. But she already lost her two Jinchurikis and the Bijus, so it will be not good for them to go up against the Akatsuki when they have nothing to gain or nothing to lose from this. But she told him if he was able to bring back the sword of Zabuza to them, they would sign an alliance with Konoha. As a gesture of good faith, Naruto told that it would be done, as he headed off with his team as Kocho accompanied them. Meanwhile, the group made their way towards Jugo, Sasuke and his new team. As they talked to Jugo, Jugo wanted to know who was the one that took down Kimimaro. As he decided to join the team, as Sasuke told them his real goal, finding and killing Itachi Uchiha, and he will need their help to do it. As they all agreed to stick around with him for a little while longer. When Naruto and his group got there, he was pissed because the sword was gone, but he knew exactly who took it. After hearing from Himako that Orochimaru died some time ago, as he told Kocho to go back to Mizukage and inform her that he will have this sword quickly. She doesn't have to worry about anything. Well, now Naruto has to put himself in the open and find Itachi because he knew exactly where Sasuke was going, and judging that the Akatsuki was after him, they will find him sooner or later. As Maki and Sai told him that they're with him all the way. It doesn't matter which danger situation they're going to step their foot into, they will be there to help him through and through. As Naruto smiled as the entire group headed off, but he had to relay the information back to Tsunade through Himako. So yeah guys, so it's basically last where we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So what do you say we begin this new episode? He's going to what? The yell shared by both Tsunade and Sakura, who has been working in the office with her sensei today. Tsunade slammed their hands on the decks. Damn it, brat. I think now will be the appropriate time to send Jiraiya out to get him, if he wasn't still working through his injuries. If Jiraiya found himself catching up to the boy, why he actually found Itachi Uchiha or Sasuke and his team. Jiraiya will be hard pressed to defend himself against them at the moment. He was still getting one-handed steals down for his jutsu. But Sakura had a rather hopeful look on her face after hearing the news from Himako. Naruto's gonna look for Sasuke-kun? Himako nodded, Sasuke or Itachi. Whichever one he believes it will be easier to locate. He said that it doesn't matter if anyone comes to find him now. But if they plan on searching for him, make sure they can take care of themselves. He said he doesn't feel like a hero to get himself killed over someone who is meant to protect him. As Sakura looked over at Tsunade, Tsunade-sama, I have to go. If this is a chance, I can help Naruto bring Sasuke back. Tsunade did not answer. She looked at Himako, who was speaking to Naruto through the tattoo with the codes. He said that he's very confident that he can find one of them, and if he can get Itachi, it will only be a matter of time before he came for his brother if he doesn't get Sasuke first. And he's doing this because, is this an opportunity that he sees, or is he doing it for something else? Asked Tsunade. Oh, honestly, it's more like a 3 birds with 1 stone kind of thing, because he plays his card right. As she walked over, Naruto-sama is the opportunist. He takes advantage of the tiniest opening that the world gives him, and he attacks it with enough crushing force to make it work for him. Sakura was confused. I'm not sure I follow you. A small laugh came from Himako as she thought about how to explain things. Okay, Naruto-sama cannot come back to Konoha because he believes if he's here, the village will be attacked sooner or later. While he's been gone, he's trying to find a better way to gain control of the Kyuubi. And he has been trying to strengthen and set up new alliance for Konoha. And now he's going after 2 most important mutants for Konoha, and trying to obtain one of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the Mist swords to get a relationship with Kiri. And you know, he's been training too. As Tsunade's eyes widened as she heard reports of Naruto taking the training, as she remembered how he trained in the sand, a smirk came to her face. So, has there been any improvement since the last time we heard from him? Well, he says that it's done, said Himako. It's been done since he's fought pain, but it just damaged his arm to use. I need to tell this to Jiraiya-sama as well. Goodbye, Hokage-sama, Sakura-san. And Naruto-sama said hello, Tsunade-bachan. She said that giggle. So what now, Tsunade-sama? Are we going to find Naruto? Tsunade thought about it for a moment before coming to a decision on the matter. It was very uneasy to allow him to just roam around like that, but now he was going to step in the hornet nest. Get me Kakashi. He's not going with Jiraiya, but tell him to get a team ready once Himako give us the general location, and tell him what it's for, and make sure to tell him that you're going with him as well, Sakura. Kakashi won't be that hard to convince if you demand it. Yes, Hokage-sama, she said before setting out to find Kakashi. Meanwhile, the unknown location Deidara set up, as he shook himself off after a long ceiling that just happened. So, let's see what's next. Should I go after that Kyuubi brat who I oversee too? Or should I go after Sasuke Uchiha for taking the life of that snake, which I want to take for myself? Why would you want to go after the guy that beat you down so bad last time and killed my predecessor, Deidara-senpai? He seemed really scary. He didn't beat me down badly, Tobe, said Deidara. And it's because he beat Sasori that I wanted to fight him. Him and the guy that's with him, the artist. He shouldn't be too difficult to find. After his failed mission against Leader Sama, we know a few places that he isn't. Meanwhile, at the south of Hinokuni, as Naruto, Sai, and Maki found themselves in a remoted part of the country, it was currently night, as they were in a safe house. So, said Maki, as there was a fire in the center. Do you think we'll be able to find any of them easy enough, she asked. Sai nodded yes. When we were in Naminokuni, we were able to get news that Sai and his companions were heading south of the coast. Then we heard from some prisoners that got free from Orochimaru base that he had went north. We need to start heading towards the center of the country. Why do you say that, Sai? Naruto asked. Wouldn't he want to go further away from the village than he left, then hang around it? It may not be my specific specialty, but I'm better at tracking than the both of you. And the thing about tracking is to know your target. Itachi Uchiha was the one that was sent after you. Sasuke will stay around the country for the time being, especially if he's looking for Itachi. The Uchiha clan has a number of hideouts in Hinokuni. Oh, so he will stay here, said Naruto that smirk, since there are so many places where he can base his search off of. Naruto-senpai, said Maki, what do you know about Sasuke Uchiha? I only know what everyone knows from when he was in the academy, which is nothing relevant. Well, he's angry. I don't really blame him after what happened to his clan though. But he's got a lot of darkness in him. As of now, I say he still has morals and he's still redeemable. That is why I didn't shoot down Sakura's dreams of bringing him back after he left. But his mind, it still isn't right. And the second things break down around him, he will go off the deep end. And he will take a good chunk of the world with him. At first, I wanted to kill him because if Orochimaru got his body, we all would be screwed. But now, I might be able to drag him home alive. But if I have to still kill him. Those eyes of his are too dangerous left to roam. Maki and Sai nodded in agreement, knowing how dangerous the Sharingan was. Danzo had drilled the both of them on the Sharingan after Itachi went rogue. It was a requirement to learn by all of the root agents. Maki raised her hand. Well then, I think I'll be next to useless against Sasuke or either Itachi. My strongest suit is Genjutsu, and nothing I have is really that good to go up against the Sharingan, especially Itachi Tsukiyomi. That's okay, said Naruto. I will be fighting whichever Uchiha we come up against myself. I need you two to either neutralize Itachi or Sasuke escort. I'm going to be fighting either of them, I can't let you two do it. But senpai, you aren't that good at Genjutsu. And the Sharingan is like your Achilles' heel when it comes to that. And you're going to be fighting it head on. Yeah, I haven't quite figured that out, how I'm going to work that one yet. But I know I can beat Sasuke or Itachi, said Naruto, confidently. I've beaten Sasuke before, and I've only gotten stronger. And I'm not as weak as when I fought Itachi. Don't you worry about me, Maki-chan. I got a few new aces for them. Even though we have been moving all over, I never stopped training. Do not underestimate the powers of those wicked eyes, boy. The Kyuubi warned Naruto. If you're going to fight the older brother or even the younger one, do not activate my power, do you understand? Huh? You're gonna be stingy at a time like this, Naruto asks. I know you're pissed about the fight in the hidden rain, but I'm gonna go toe to toe with Itachi probably. And you're telling me you're not gonna help? Shut up, boy, said the Kyuubi. Now listen to me. If you fight the elder Uchiha and use my chakra, you will be more susceptible to falling under their influence. I have been remiss to tell you this in the past, but I was under the control of those wretched eye before. Madara Uchiha, the patriarch of the clan in your village. As Naruto listened to the short explanation of the Kyuubi and Madara with their battle against the first Hokage, which led to him being sealed in his ancestor Mito Uzumaki, as his team was looking at him. As the Kyuubi finished talking, it seems I'm screwed against Sharingan base Genjutsu because of the Kyuubi. Looks like I'll have to find a workaround. And until then, we can't just stay here forever, as I said. If we're going to hunt after Uchiha, we need to move soon. Nothing changed, you guys, Naruto said. We're still going after them. I just have to come up with something on the fly to fight them. He then stopped. It seems my clone has found an intruder. As the group quickly draw their weapons and went outside, slowly, checking their surroundings. Who is it, senpai? Sai asked. I don't know, said Naruto. Whoever it is, they're taking my clones down before they can be identified. But the trail is coming this way. As Naruto stepped forward, his blade in his hand, whoever you are, you can just leave now or we will take you down here. Ah, Naruto-kun, is that any way to greet someone you haven't seen in so long? A hooded Kabuto came from the shadows. Kabuto, said Naruto. I should probably kill you to mop up any last dregs. Off. Combination with Orochimaru forces, now. It will save me the trouble of hunting you later, or having Anko do it. But you're here for a reason, so tell me, what do you want? Kabuto smirked at Naruto under his hood. To help you out. You're searching for Sasuke Uchiha. And I want Sasuke Uchiha dead. He destroyed Orochimaru-sama, the only person in this world that I've ever respected. And I should shake his hand for that reason, Naruto interrupted Kabuto. You're really not convincing me to drop my blade, Kabuto. Get to the reason why you're here. You can't beat Sasuke-kun, said Kabuto. No matter how good you are, he can match anything you're capable of, and he has a Sharingan. You know you can't beat him, yet I hear you going after him and Itachi. Do you have a death wish, maybe? That should be what I'm asking you. You know that I'm here and you came here anyway. I don't know how you find me or how you find out what I'm after. But I don't know how you think insulting me and trying to get in my head is going to end well for you. But if this is the only reason why you're here, I might just make your trip worth it and just kill you right here now. I didn't come here to fight you. As Kabuto stepped forward, I came here to offer you what Orochimaru offered. Your first benefactor all those years ago, Danzo Shimura. Your greatest treasure and power. Oh, that is before he sent you to betray us, though. Do you know what I'm talking about? Well, that's not really surprising. Danzo Jiji was always a pretty backhanded dealer. And Orochimaru was our enemy. Of course he sent me in after getting whatever he wanted from him. But I'm curious though, why make a deal with me when you know I just could kill you right here and now? Do you really think that anything that you have could really stop me from ending your life, you spy? You don't have any leverage in the world to get me to grant you any kind of amnesty. I know that, said Kabuto. You know everything about Akatsuki, I know. And the sound forces have been splintered and fractured upon Orochimaru-sama's death. But I have simply come here to give you something. Something that I've kept since Orochimaru running with Danzo years ago. And probably the real reason he sent you in to infiltrate. Kabuto reached into his cloak and pulled something out. What? Naruto was surprised. Well, the three of them were surprised looking at what Kabuto had. It was a jar containing a Sharingan eye. But if Orochimaru had this, then what? Naruto was confused. Kabuto set the jar on the ground. Surprised, I see. This is something left over from a surgery they did on Danzo years ago. I never showed this to Orochimaru-sama. If he'd known of this, he would have tried to implant it in his body. The risk was too great for him to do so though, but he wouldn't have cared. Which is why I kept it from him and why he pursued Sasuke-kun so intently. But that risk wouldn't affect you at all. As Naruto remembered Kakashi. Wait, are you telling me that you want me to— I never tell you anything, Naruto-kun, Kabuto interrupted. I merely just made a game of suggestion to you. It's up to you what you do with it. I'm simply providing the goods. Just make sure Sasuke suffers when you see him. And thank you. You're thanking me for what, Naruto asks. Because watching the way you found your own place in the world has inspired me, Naruto-kun. The Jinchuriki, the former pawn of Root, the former dead last idiot. And here you are now in control of your own destiny, the fast track to the top of Shinobi world. You and me aren't so different. We just want to know what we were meant to do. What was our life about? And I finally found out what I'm supposed to do. As Kabuto pulled his hood down, I'm going to surpass Orochimaru-sama, and I'm starting by integrate him into my body. Maki flinched as she saw the left side of his face and his left arm. It was white and scaly and it resembled Orochimaru. How? Why would you do something like that to yourself? I couldn't imagine, she said. Kabuto laughed. Orochimaru-sama was a living symbol of reincarnation. Now, he lives on inside of me as a reminder of who I must surpass. Still, I can feel the remains trying to take over my body as we speak. He then slipped back into the darkness. I'm counting on you, Naruto-kun. Consider this a gesture of good faith between two representatives of the future. Kabuto present then disappeared. The trio looked back down to the ground. As Naruto walked forward and picked with jar, Danzo, Gigi and I have to have a lot of talk about more things. A lot of things. As he pulled out a sealing scroll, he was about to seal it away. Naruto-senpai said Maki, keeping him from putting the eye away. I can examine the eye for you to see if anything is wrong with it. I'm very skilled medically, in fact. She started to turn nervous as she talked. If you want, I can implant it for you. You should think about it if nothing else. It could give you an edge over the Uchihas. And with the sheer raw amount of chakra that you have, you could do things, even without training. Is she right in her thought? A Sharingan? Danzo Jiji has one apparently. The Kyuubi said that the Sharingan was able to enact control over it. There are so many reasons why I should do it. Plus the fact I could actually get away with it. No one has seen my injuries from fighting pain. I can keep it covered just like Kakashi Sensei does. But is it the right thing to do? As Sai stepped forward and placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. Naruto-senpai, are you okay? He asks. Naruto sealed away the eye as he rolled the scroll and placed it in the pocket. Everyone, get some sleep, he said. Tomorrow is going to be a very busy day. As he created more clones and went back inside the house. As Maki turned towards Sai, is he angry at me, Sai-senpai? She said. I just thought that if he had the Sharingan, he would be so much more powerful. Did I say something wrong? Don't worry, he's not mad at you, said Sai. He knew how powerful he would be with the Sharingan. But there's a lot of moral reasons why. He's hesitating, Maki-san. Just give him some time. The ideas in his head are swimming right now, along with everything else he has to deal with. Eventually too much is too much for everyone. He needs time to rest and think. As the two of them went inside, as Sai went off to get his sleeping arrangements. As Maki went and sat down beside him. As Naruto said nothing as he just kept looking out of space. As she finally spoke, you were my hero when I just started Root. I was an orphan just like you, but you were so strong. I could never match anything you did. You were the best of our age, even a ton of adults were wary of you. At first I didn't understand why Danzo-sama made me your partner, and I kind of resented you for it. And when you tried to talk to me, I thought you were being condescending. That is why I barely talked to you back then. But I did wind up caring for you. How could I not? You ended up saving me so many times, and getting hurt because I couldn't fight. When we went to the others and took out the demon group, you got so hurt. As she placed a hand on his arm, I looked at the scars that you got after we got you out of the hidden rain. Most of them are because of me, because I was weak. But the point is, you were always right, and everything you ever told me to do as my senpai. As a ninja, it was for the best and the right thing to do. Naruto turned towards her. This is kind of different, Maki-chan. I'm thinking of taking out my own eye and replacing it with the eye of a man from a dead clan, solely for the ability to win one fight. This is pretty huge, and there is no right answer here, but bad things are gonna happen, and I'm thinking of whether it's worth it to do it. The point is, said Maki, I know whatever you do, it's gonna be the right thing for us, Konoha, everyone. As she then kissed him on the cheek as she smiled. Seeing that you're Naruto Uzumaki, the future Hokage of Konoha after all. As Naruto let off a small laugh. And just what did I do to make you believe in me so much, Maki-chan? You don't have all the time to hear all my reasons, senpai, she said. Well, go ahead and try me. We got all night. I'm not gonna sleep with all this stuff on my brain. Maybe you can calm me down. Come on, he said. Time skip. Both Naruto and Maki had fell asleep after some long conversations. As we now have Naruto in his mindscape. As Naruto entered to see the Kyuubi lying down in the middle of an eradicated Konoha. Every time he saw this, it actually encouraged him that he will never let this happen to his real village. If the Kyuubi knew that, he would stop doing it. But he didn't notice how angry Naruto would get. As Naruto neared the beast, it stopped and towered over him. The two simply locked eyes for the longest time, not saying a word. The Kyuubi honestly have more respect for Naruto than more than every human that has come across. But he will never tell Naruto that to his face. As the Kyuubi sat down and put his head on his paws, as Naruto spoke, I'm guessing you know why I'm here. Before I make a final decision, I want to hear what you have to say. Say what you will about devouring me. But through thick and thin, you've always been there for me. Through everything. You helped keep me from breaking when I was en route. The enemy of my enemy is our friend, boy, said the Kyuubi. I needed you to survive. So fighting you back then wouldn't have made much sense because you'd have been broken and I would be like breaking my own self. Besides, no host of mine would ever be a mindless drone of another. And yes, I know why you're here. I have to say I'm surprised you came to me. I fully expected you to take the eye and then come in here and try to force me to submission. Come on now, said Naruto, do you really think that me would a Sharingan could just beat you like that? Just when I thought I have this human child figured out. The Kyuubi thought to himself. He was surprised by Naruto's actions, even asking him. But you already know what I want to say. I want you to crush that eye. Or better yet, find one of the last Uchihas and feed it to them. I want the honest answer from you, said Naruto. None of your goddamn mind game shit are ducking my questions and blowing me off. If you never answer anything until we kick each other's ass for me to get full control. But you're going to answer my question right now. As a matter of me defeating the enemies after me, Gaara, Yuji-chan, Killer Bee, me defending Konoha the way I swore to Danzo, do you think I should take the Sharingan for myself? No, the Kyuubi said. Now leave, as he turned his head. Don't give me that bullshit, Naruto said, as lightning and thunder went off in his mindscape. The wind started to pick up as well. This isn't about me and you. This isn't about you and the Uchiha clan that you have a grudge with. Pretend that we didn't have to fight. Pretend that you only knew me in passing, and you knew what I was up against. I want you to tell me your honest opinion, and I want you to think as much as you can about it. If you were me, is it a good idea for me to have a Sharingan? Yes or no, Naruto asked. The Kyuubi simply went quiet for a long time, just staring at Naruto. He finally spoke. I can't answer that question for you. It is your option and your choice in the end. If you really want to be Hokage, then you have to start answering these questions on your own. Because the decisions for you will only grow harder and harder in the future. That is if you survive that long. As Naruto turned to leave, when you and I fight, no Sharingan. No matter what you decide in the end, this is my only request to you, said the Kyuubi. I'll think about it, Naruto said. Fade note of the mindscape. Damn brat, said the Kyuubi with a smirk, as Naruto disappeared. The next day at Konoha Gate, Kakashi was with his squad, as he was also there with Jiraiya and Shizune and Tsunade, as they were here to see the squad off. As Jiraiya stepped forward, his gravelly voice same way. It's still gonna be a while before I'm ready to train the kid. I only been recovering for about a few weeks now. Just make sure you keep him safe when you find him, okay? Kakashi nodded. You got it, Jiraiya-sama, he said. If anything, I'm sure that he will find us when he's in a troublesome situation. Don't worry about it. If he told you all those things, then he's not hiding anymore. He should be easier to find now. Tsunade stepped forward. Good luck, Kakashi. Keep Sakura safe and make sure she doesn't try anything stupid on this mission. God knows if Naruto's really searching for Uchiha, he will run into one of them somehow. I don't want her losing her head over this. as she glanced at Sakura, who looked ready for anything. As Kakashi nodded, he turned to his squad. "Alright everyone," he said. "There are reasons I picked all of you for this mission, but it's not time to dwell on that." As his squad was Neji, Kiba and Akamaru, Teiwaya and Sakura and Shikamaru. The primary mission is to find Naruto Uzumaki. The secondary mission is to assist him in whatever matter currently have his attention for the moment. He's not the enemy, but prepare for anyone that he has deemed his enemy. There's also a very good chance we will be facing off against Akatsuki for this mission. You all being informed about who these people are. Any further questions can be answered by Naruto once he's found. Any other questions? But all of them shook their head no. "Alright then," said Kakashi. "Let's go find that blonde kid." As all of them dash off in blurs. As Tsunade watched them leave, she felt that same feeling that she had when Naruto and Jiraiya leave for the Hidden Rain, as she didn't like it at all. Time skip. With a new day ahead of them, Naruto led his team north, searching for Itachi or Sasuke. The next town we reach, we need to start searching for intel. I'll drop some clones here, have them hench, and then we'll keep going. We will have a large net over the entire region by the end of the day. I will leave behind some of my ink creatures as well, Naruto-senpai, Sai said. They can help your clones on gathering information and speed up the process. Good idea, said Naruto. After they were finished with that, Sai made some ink birds as they flew above the forest of Hinokune. As Maki held on to Naruto from behind, as Sai was on his own bird. What are we looking for, Naruto-senpai? We're looking for a lot of things, Maki-chan, he said. The Kyubi-Garasho is a very specific sword. People know it if they see it. The Akatsuki attire is very specific as well. And people know if they see it. And then Kisame himself is very specific. He's blue and look like a fish. If someone saw him, they would damn sure remember where he was. Well, it's all a matter of how secluded they're trying to be while they're traveling, said Sai. Finding Sasuke should be easier than finding Itachi though. Itachi will be used to conceal his movements and moving under the radar. I wish we had it in Uzaka, said Naruto. If Kiba was here, we would be making great time on this. Better than we would be right now. It can't be helped, Naruto-senpai. Danzo-sama doesn't have an Inuzaka en route. So unless you go back to Konoha and ask for assistance, we can't get one. Speaking of Konoha, wait. How am I going to explain you guys when we get home? Sai, I might be able to, but Maki, route, has officially been disbanded. I don't know, said Maki, but we can't say anything about Danzo-sama to anyone that is not clear to know anything. As she stuck out her tongue, as there was a seal on her tongue. Sai-senpai has one too. Oh yeah, said Naruto. Danzo Jiji tried to put that thing on me 3 times. But I just broke it each time. The Kyuubi chakra overpowered when I wanted it gone. Naruto-senpai really is strong, Maki thought. So what are we gonna do now, she asked. I'm gonna search the ground, Naruto said, as Maki released his waist as he got up. Sai, you're in charge of Maki. If you find anything and can't find me, just head back to the village, the first one we came from. Or look for me. As Naruto jumped off the bird. Naruto-senpai, said Maki. Before Sai could direct his bird to go catch him, Naruto yelled out a jutsu. Wind style. Wind burst. As an ear bubble appeared on his feet before bursting. As he kept on stepping on them, going down. I'll see you guys soon, he said. As Maki eyebrow twitched. I'm going to put a horrible falling genjutsu on him once he get back. He just did that to get a reaction out of us, said Sai. Naruto-senpai believes that scaring his friends like that is funny. He tried to explain the concept to me once, but I don't think I understand. Because he beat me up after I booby-trapped his apartment. As Maki turned towards him. It seems like I will have to help you as well, she said. As Sai gave her that strange smile. And that smile has to go first, she said. Meanwhile, Naruto's running as fast as he could as he reached floor. He was one of the longest stamina, so he could do this. As he jumped down a ravine and walked on water and rushed to the next side, he saw a couple of birds. He then heard flapping. As he then turned back his head, noticing that they were white and they were coming. Son of a bitch. Guts! A massive explosion went off. Chunks of the cliff wall fell as it came down right on Naruto, the wall that he was scaling. As Deidara was flying on his bird with Tobi on the back. You got one, Deidara-senpai, said Tobi. Be quiet, Tobi, said Deidara as he adjusts the scope on his left eye to zoom in. He's not dead, and I can't kill him anyway. I'll just blow off a few limbs, he will survive that. No, that wasn't nearly enough to put the Kyuubi kid down. He's way better than that. As the smoke cleared away, he saw Naruto standing there. As Naruto looked up in the air to see Deidara and a weird guy with a mask on with spirals on it. Fine, I guess I can kill one more of you before finding Sasuke. Thin out the number, so to speak. Oh, Deidara-senpai looks so mad. Such a scary face. You should be relatively afraid of him, Tobi. This guy beat Hidan, killed Kakazu, and sorcery. Fought leader Salmon got away in one piece. He really is a spectacular Jinchuriki. Very powerful indeed. I know from personal experience he's incredibly dangerous. Meanwhile, Naruto was scanning the situation, that other guy. I have no idea about him. First thing I need to do is get that bird out of the air so I can have a fighting chance. Deidara formed some more clay sculptures. It's been so long since we've seen each other. Let's catch up, shall we? Starting off with C1, so you can remember the fear you felt of my art back in Uzu. The birds flew at Naruto and grew in size. Last time I didn't have the tools I need to fight you, but this time I do, said Naruto. As he ran along the rocky area at the river in the gorge, as Naruto pulled out a single shuriken and threw it at the bird before going through hand signs. Shuriken clone technique. The clay birds were clipped as they all came crashing onto water where they detonate. Looks like someone's learned some new tricks since the last time we battled it out, huh? Toby, get off the bird. This one is mine. You might get in the way if the fight gets out of hand, as I'm expecting. Go keep watching the perimeter and make sure no one else interfere. Are you sure, Deidara-senpai? Just do what I say, Deidara shouted. This brat and I have a bone to pick with each other. As Toby jumped off the bird right to the gorge and leave the battlefield altogether. Naruto took off the white mask off his side and placed it right on his face. Strange mask, said Deidara. What does it mean, Anvu? As Naruto pulled his blade, you would wish it just meant Anvu. Back at Konoha, Hokage's office, Tsunade was at her desk going through paperwork. She then heard a knock. You may enter, she said. Then she saw who paid her a visit. Danzo. Danzo locked the door as he walked inside. I hope now isn't a bad time for a conversation time. If it is, I can come back later. No, now is as good of time as any, she said. She knew about Danzo wanting to become Hokage some time ago, but nowadays he wasn't making any noise. He was just in the background, silent as ever. Very well, he says he sit down. This is about Naruto, he said. Again, said Tsunade. What is it that you wish to talk about? You are well aware of my past relationship with him. In his childhood, I was his first benefactor, and I was one that gave him the base of his first shinobi skills that he still uses up to date. Yes, I'm fully aware of your attempts to turn Naruto into a drone just like the rest of your root. You did go ahead and disband him like you were ordered to do all those years ago, right? She knew how that group operated, with their emotions always cut. But it was different for Naruto, and not to mention that she and Naruto was family no matter how far back it goes. She wanted him to be safe, and this man had taken Naruto when he was just a young child, despite how strong he has become. I never once lied to the boy, said Danzo. I told him exactly what he was in for before we started training, and he never backed down. He took part in his own free will, he was never my pawn. I would dare say he was my greatest recruit I could have ever asked for. But if he had stayed, he wouldn't have been as useful to Konoha as he is now. What do you mean, asked Tsunade? He not only has the strength and skills of a shinobi, he's also a Jinchuriki. This makes him a more powerful shinobi than those who are of his equal. And I believe that he's only getting better and better. And not only that, he has a lot of support of many popular nations. Yuki no Kuni and Nami no Kuni, places that he was seen as a hero. The Sand, Kumo, and now possibly Kiri. Hidden villages that Naruto set up friendly rap boards with. It was the truth, Naruto, despite only being 16 years old, was one of the most influential shinobi that Konoha has to offer, and his strength was respected through the ninja world. Victories over Kakazo, Hidan, and sorcery, and all of the enemies he managed to defeat had been spread through the continent. The boy had his own bingo book page to all of the bingo book that distributed over the entire elemental nation. He has your support, Jiraiya's support, the support of many powerful ninjas here in the village, and he has the entire future generation amazed by his strength. I'm aware of the young Konohamaru in the academy telling his friends stories of the hero Naruto. They all see him as a hero. I see where you're coming from with all of this, but I don't know where you're going yet, said Tsunade. You can't hold the seat forever, Tsunade. You know that you will have to hand over the ad soon, and I'm sure that you know who is your best successor. Naruto, she said. In fact, she didn't really have a problem with that. And Danzo wouldn't be endorsing Naruto on this if he didn't see Naruto as a real deal. All of his missions recently, all of them had been a complete success. Yes, a little more seasoning, she could see him taking over for her by the time he was 21 or so. Exactly, said Danzo, I see the strength in that boy. And that is why I'm here to tell you I give full support 100% to Uzumaki Naruto as the 6th Hokage, or the 7th Hokage, whichever happened for him first. Tsunade blinked in confusion. You're actually supporting someone that isn't yourself in becoming Hokage. No, she was suspicious. What kind of game are you playing, Danzo? Danzo stood up. No game at all, Tsunade. Is it that strange for a teacher to believe in their student and want to see the best for them? Not at all, said Tsunade. It was strange to consider Naruto as Danzo's student, but he trained him first before everyone else. As Danzo walked towards the door before stopping, no matter how far his life go, no matter how you and Jiraiya want to believe like it didn't happen, it will never change what happened. He was mine first. I taught him how to survive. I made him a splendid shinobi that you yourself take pride in. And he's grown into a perfect person that you believe that can run this village. He has earned your trust through blood and sweat, and you have seen that. He has worked his way up from the very bottom. I did this. I instilled his base of a ninja in him. So whenever you think of me as some rogue element you can't trust, remember one thing. And what would that one thing be? She asked him rather tensely. I didn't do this for me, he said. And I never did this for Root. I looked at that 4-year-old little boy who wanted to be acknowledged for being someone great. And I knew it. He would be greater than all of us, Nadeheim. And I did this so the future of Konoha would be secure well in advance, before anyone else was even thinking about the future ninjas. As he looked at Tsunade. Have a good day, he said. As Danzo left, Tsunade couldn't help but smile. As she have to admit it, Danzo succeeded with Naruto very well. For what it's worth, I can't imagine him this powerful or reliable without getting your training. As she then got back to her work. Meanwhile, Deidara was laughing as he kept on throwing bombs after bombs, but Naruto was zigzagging and dashing forward. Deidara kept on getting higher and higher in case Naruto could jump and reach him. What are you gonna do from all the way down there? Said Deidara, as Naruto jumped off the ground, before muttering one phrase. Wind style, wind bursts. Deidara's eyes went wide when Naruto started to step on air coming towards him. He can fly? Deidara jerked his bird to the side to escape the incoming Naruto, but Naruto sliced through the wing of the bird instead of Deidara, who he was really aiming at, as Deidara's bird fell to the ground. After seeing what happened at Ozu, Naruto has been working on this technique that he can do without even going through hand signs now. As he knew that Deidara could fly, he didn't know if there was any other members who could fly out there. So yeah, he had to learn something like this that could give him the edge. And this was very hard to learn, because he tried to teach Shimari the same thing, seeing that she was a wind user but she couldn't learn it. Each step he took produced an air bubble under his feet that burst, that sent him higher, the burst's limit. As Naruto started to leap towards Deidara, Deidara released spiders, but Naruto burst towards the other side. Deidara rolled on the ground as he came to a stop. As he digged back into his pouch, amazingly he said with a smirk on his face, "You truly are remarkable, Jinjulki," he said. "I guess C1 isn't enough anymore. Prepare for C2. As he created a massive clay dragon, Naruto sheathed his blade. He could probably summon Kamikichi, but that thing could fly and it would pick him apart in the sky. No, he could handle this one. As he formed several clones, they all draw their swords. As they rushed forward, even his clones are fast, Deidara thought as he jumped on his bird. Let's begin for real this time. Show me what you got, kid. As Deidara's large dragon spat out a smaller dragon that was really large. The mini dragon smashed into the ground and exploded, taking them all out in a mini explosion. As Naruto noticed the tail of the dragon shortened after using that attack, and it shortened once more, he did it again. Toby isn't here, so I can't set any mines. But once he can see them, he will just stick to the air. Those will be useless against him, unlike the last time I can't corner him and take him out. I'll just have to outmaneuver him. Naruto started to run in the air once more, dodging the mini dragons. But then the thing turned. You got to be kidding me. It's chasing me? Sorry kid, said Deidara, you should know how the big leaves were by now, he said. The dragon wasn't going to stop until it takes him out. As Naruto kept on dodging and maneuvering out of the air, but the dragon just kept on coming after him. But Naruto then suddenly spin around. Lightning release. Surge flash! As lightning burst from his hands that smashed into the dragon, as it fell down into the ground and crashed. As Naruto kept on pushing off back to Deidara, if I can't beat you as I am, I don't deserve to go up against Sasuke or Itachi. If his power were tested, I know I got you beat. I'm testing my finesse. What did you just say? Asked Deidara. You heard me, said Naruto. You're not stupid, and I know better. Itachi Uchiha is more dangerous than you will ever be. And he is why I'm out here right now. I'm going to beat you, and then I'm going to beat him, or just a brother. Because that is how I rule, said Naruto. Deidara growled and clenched his fist hard. Itachi is more dangerous than me? Itachi is more dangerous than me? Itachi is more dangerous than me, he screamed. Well then, let me show you exactly how dangerous I am. His dragon fire off another missile hit Naruto's way. This again, said Naruto. Lightning release. Surge flash! As the thing was knocked from the sky once more. as Naruto then dashed towards Deidara once more. As he unsealed a Fuma shuriken from his hand and threw it towards Deidara. You will never hit me with something like that, you idiot. Who do you think you're dealing with? Use some style, Deidara said. Wind style. Gale palm, Naruto shouted. Deidara's eyes went wide as the shuriken split. One going to the left, one going to the right, and one coming into the middle. It looked like it was being guided by the wind. Shadow Shuriken Jutsu, Transformation Jutsu, sucker. Once one of the shurikens got close to center one, it poofed into a Naruto who had an explosive note in his hand that was almost burned down. How about this for your style? Art is an explosion. As a massive explosion went off in the skies. Chunks of clay and Deidara came falling down from the sky. That bastard, he blew himself up. But it's not over yet, Deidara said as he reached for more clay. I love my shadow clones, said Naruto. As Deidara looked up to see Naruto coming down. Rasengan! As Naruto drive the Rasengan right through Deidara. But Deidara's skin turned white. As the real Deidara was over to the side falling, he had burn marks on his skins from the explosion. As he smirked. Cuts! As a clone detonated in mid-air, with Naruto's hand still stuck right in it. Meanwhile, Sai and Maki was waiting for Naruto to arrive as they were at the rock formation. Flying through the air was the best way because they didn't get interrupted once. Wow, you fly like Deidara senpai. Both of them turned to see a masked man as he was sitting on the rock formation swinging his feet. I bet his art is better than yours though, said the masked man. As both of them draw their tonto. Maki-san, go back and look for senpai, said Sai. Why, she said. This strange man was waving at them both as he was ready for anything. Black cloaks with red clouds. What did senpai and I told you that meant? Then shouldn't we fight him together? The both of them told her how powerful the Akatsuki's were. They work in pairs. If this one is here, then where would the other one be? Her eyes widened. With senpai, she said. So go find him and make sure it's alright. Toby can't let you do that, Toby said. As he dropped down to the ground. Now, Earth release. Hiding like a mole jutsu. Maki tried to leave only for Toby to pop right up in front of her. Hello again. As she jumped back in shock. He's faster than senpai, said Maki at Sai's side. What do we do now, she asked. We get you past him, Maki-san. Super Beast. Imitation picture, said Sai as he whipped out his scroll and started to draw. As lions came from the scroll and went towards Toby, who headed back into the ground quickly. As he drew a bird and set Maki on it. Go, find Naruto senpai, he said. Wait, I don't know how to fly. As the bird took off from the area. That wasn't nice, Toby says he emerged. That girl didn't even say goodbye. And I never got her name. Hey, what's yours? My name is Toby. Sai said. Naruto senpai said that I must introduce myself to new people that I meet. But I don't think that implies people that I am supposed to kill, Sai said. Nearby, the group of Konoha ninja had split up once they got a trace of Sasuke and Naruto sense. Kiba and Akamaru went off on their own to find Naruto. As Kakashi went to find Sasuke, he could finish Naruto's objective if he found Sasuke first. Shikamaru paired off with Neji. This left Sakura and Teiwaya traveled together, and they weren't on the same page when it came who to look for, as Sakura and Teiwaya both got one of the dogs, Pakon to be exact, and they were on the clock. It was currently cloudy, so if it placed rain right now, it would be difficult to find either of them. As Pakon walked out, the two girls were bickering. Listen bitch, said Teiwaya. The mission is to find Uzumaki, not your beloved Uchiha. I figured that you would want to find someone who actually gave a damn about your village to actually stick around. Sakura to the huff, Pakon said that he can't even get a trace of Naruto's scent, as if it's not even existing at all or altered too much for us to find from this distance. But it was rather strange, how could his scent be altered and mess with one of Kakashi's dogs' scent? And besides, Kakashi-sensei said that Naruto will be looking for Sasuke anyways. So if we find Sasuke first, we will find Naruto. That is ass backwards logic and counterproductive as hell, said Teiwaya. I know what he's gonna do from the first time I met a little shit. First, he's gonna act like you're not even there. And then, when you press the issue of bringing him back to the village, he's gonna attack you. Can you fight your little boyfriend like that? Sakura glared at her. Oh, I don't know. Do you think you could fight Naruto? Any day of the week, said Teiwaya. Uzumaki knows that I'll kick his ass. And by the way, he's not my boyfriend. Just because we screw around sometimes, that doesn't mean he's my boyfriend. Sure it doesn't, said Sakura rolling her eyes. That is why you were so angry you were about to cry when you heard that he was killed. And why you were so happy you actually cried when you heard he wasn't dead. You better watch your mouth, Pinky, said Teiwaya. I smell Sasuke Uchiha. He's close, said Pakon. Where, said Sakura. Can we find him? Yes, Pakon said. Keep going forward. The both of them put their game faces on as he went off. The most lead at the moment was Sasuke, so it was out of Teoya's hands. We're right on top of his head, Pakon said. It's right here. They looked through the crowd as hard as they could when a red-haired girl with glasses walked past them. Sakura didn't pay her a second glance, but Teoya's eyes went wide. The other girl recognized her as well, before running off. Come on, Pinky, that bitch know where the Uchiha is. What? You know her? How do you know her? Because that bitch was there when the snake pedophile gave me a seal. Come on, kick it into gear so we can catch her already. As Teoya pulled her flute out. Meanwhile, Deidara got off the ground as his body was in a bit of a rough condition after the explosive tag earlier. Lucky the clay that he hit in keep him from dying by breaking his fall. As he painfully chuckled, I got him. Finally got that bastard good. As he started to limp towards the river, Naruto's body was lying face down, blood surrounding him. Hopefully he wasn't dead. The leader would kill him for that if he somehow delayed their plans. Come on, Kyuubi brat. While you enjoy your nap, I'm taking you to the leader. As Deidara reached out to grab him, he's gonna ensure seeing you again. Wind release, divine fist of the wind god. Deidara was crushed from behind by a massive force that smashed into his back as he skipped across the river before smashing over to the other side. The Naruto that was lying down poofed away. Deidara gritted his teeth in pure pain. As Naruto was in a bad condition, his shirt was torn off at the top, as blood was leaking down from his face from the explosion and burn marks all over him. As Naruto was holding the right side of his face with his hand as blood was pouring. I'm gonna kill you right now, he said. Come and try, Deidara said. I'll blow you away. Let's see you get back up after this. As he reached for his clay pouch, but it was gone. It was blown off when Naruto hit him with his last attack. As Naruto formed two clones and the original held out his hand, his two clones latched onto his arms and lightning started to course through it. The Rasengan started to flicker with electricity before shrinking to the size of a stone, but it started to hum. Even the water in front of him was rippling badly. As Naruto formed a fist with his hand that had a strange jutsu inside of it, his entire arm grew yellow as the jutsu became louder and louder. As the waves became more powerful and powerful, Deidara tried to move but he couldn't. What the hell? Can't move, Naruto said, still holding the right hand over his eye while his jutsu was charged and ready. This sound is not just for the fun of it. I charge your Rasengan with lightning chakra. It's charging the electricity in the air and your body's getting a steady dose of it. It's numb right now. You're as good as paralyzed. Easy pickings. No, Deidara shouted as he forced his body to move, but he just wouldn't listen to him. Temari-chan helped me with the other one, but I did this one on my own. You're the first person that is going to see this move before you die. Thank you, Kakashi-sensei. Raisen Rasenki. All the build-up energy in his arm. As Naruto opened it, fire off. The moment the blue small ball left his arm, it shot right through as the entire water below. Every drop got dissolved. It smashed right into Deidara as he cried out as his body began to evaporate. As the thing burst through Deidara and went on, tearing up everything behind him, ripping through the large cannon. As Naruto watched the destruction that his new jutsu caused, as Deidara's body got completely annihilated. As Naruto backed away and sit down on a boulder as he still hold on right to his right side of his face. Naruto-senpai, as Maki finally arrived on the 8th bird. As she rushed over, what happened here? Who attacked you? Deidara said Naruto. It's over, Maki, I won. He isn't coming back. As Maki looked over, what the hell? As she wondered what kind of jutsu could do that. But she had to worry about Senpai for now. Senpai, move your arm, she said. It's a scratch, he said. It will heal. Move your arm, she said. But he still didn't move it. As she grabbed onto it, please, move your arm. As the same scar that he had over his right eye was still there. But the eye, it wasn't. When Deidara clone exploded right in Naruto's face, destroying Naruto's mask. The mask was really sturdy, but that explosion was just stronger. So when it exploded, the shrapnel went right into his eye. His right eye was hit directly and it was destroyed. Maki's eyes went wide. It's my fault. It's my fault again, she said. I left you alone. It's not your fault, Naruto said, cutting her off. It's not your fault. I was the one that split us up. Deidara found me and he fought me. It was a battle and this is a wound. Shit happens. If it's anyone's fault, it's my fault. She nodded as she choked back a sob. As root ninjas didn't cry. Can the Kyuubi? Kyuubi cannot regrow body parts, Naruto said. My eye's gone. It's not coming back. Just heal me up, Maki. We still have to catch Sasuke or Itachi. We didn't come all this way for nothing. You're still going to fight one of them? She asked, almost yelling. How are you possibly going to fight one of them now? She asked. It's Itachi Uchiha, and Sasuke beat Orochimaru. I knew you said you could have done that as well, senpai. And after seeing what you've done here, I believe you. But still, you're not in any condition to do anything right now. Why would you still go after them? It's because I promised I would. I hardly make promises anymore, Maki. But this is different. I made a promise that I will get back one of Kiri's swords, and I intend to keep it. They will tear you apart, senpai. Itachi don't care if you're hurt. Sasuke Uchiha isn't going to care. Kisame will just laugh and come at you like a shark in the water. They're not going to care like I do. As tears finally started to stream down from her eyes, coming down her cheeks, Naruto simply pulled her into a hug and let her cry. It was okay. He need time to rest anyways. Time to heal, if only a few minutes. And Maki cried her eyes out. He never knew people in Root could cry. This was when he realized Danzo did not break her. Danzo never uttered the words that showing emotions was bad to her. But why? She picked it up from everyone else because they saw her doing the same thing, so she did the same things. But Naruto could not understand. He didn't know her designated job in Root. She watched him all through the academy. But it couldn't be just that alone. What was her role supposed to be? Please, don't cry anymore, Maki. I'm not dead, I'm not dying. I just don't have an eye. It's okay, I'll manage. She slowly started to calm down. Come on, we don't cry over little things like this. You're stronger than that. I know that, she mumbled into his shoulder, before sniffling one more time before looking up. Okay, let's fix you, she said. Do you really think that you can adjust to fighting the Sharingan you only want? She stopped. Naruto-senpai, she said. If you're going to make a decision, she said, it's gonna have to be now. There are too many things going on right now for us to just sit here. I'll heal you, but once I'm done, you have to come to a conclusion. As Naruto nodded, it was either going in one eye or going in with a new Sharingan in this battle. Meanwhile, that was going on. So, the Kyuubi Jinchuriki has some new tricks up his sleeve. Leader will want to know about this, as it was a phoenix fly trap that went down into the ground. But guys, be in steps right here. Remember to stay tuned for the rest of the what is coming your way, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. But for now, I'm out. Peace.